What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unbreakable Grind. It's your guy CJ back with another video. Okay, so I'm about 30k into Cardano right now. I think in my last video I was 10k into Cardano. I just invested 20k more into Cardano a couple of days ago. All right, so since then I think Cardano has been up about 20%. Out of the $30,000 investment, I've made about I've made roughly I think I've made only like $3,500. So I only made like 10%. Well, I invested at different times, so roughly I made like 4,000, 5,000, something like that. All right, but either way, all right, let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys what I got. So I want to actually show you guys the account, only because I know some people might say they're buying stuff and then not be really telling the truth. Everything I say I'm buying, I buy. Okay, I have no reason to lie at all. So just for proof, I'm just going to show you. You know what I'm saying? You want to validate people because people can be full of BS, especially these days. All right, let's keep going. So right here, as you can see, this is going to be, let me put this up like this. But right here, you can see my Cardano. This is within Voyager, so I only got 10K here. My Coinbase account would not work at first. So I made a Coinbase account just to buy Cardano, and it wasn't working out for me. So I jumped over to Voyager. They registered me quicker, and I got 10K. That was the first 10K. All right. So as you can see there, under how much I own, I have about $10,794 in Cardano. I think that's because honestly I put like 9,500, so that's made about $1,000, $1,200. I put 9,500 in. That's because I put a couple more dollars in BitTorrent token. So with that being said, that's one account. Let me show you the other one, and I'm going to get into kind of what I think about Cardano, where I see it going with this investment. All right, so let me pop this back up. So as you can see, I have a $22,828 here. That's all Cardano. I opened a Coinbase account just to buy Cardano. All right. So as you can see at the bottom, 2 transactions of $10,000, and I'm up I'm up $2,800 pretty much. All right. So where do I expect this to be going? I expect this to be at the end of this bull run about 5 times. Okay. That's going to be roughly my conservative view. We can come back and look at this, see if I'm right. Now, this isn't financial advice. This is what I'm doing. This is what I think. Now, why am I so bullish on Cardano, and why do I like Cardano so much? I won't show you the charts and all the trend stuff. I think that's irrelevant when you're building something that's actually viable to actually take over other cryptocurrencies when it comes to mass adoption and true usefulness. Okay, so Cardano has 3 main pillars that it focuses on, which is very important, especially in the world of engineering. I'm an engineer at heart, and I'm an engineer by career, and yada yada. You all know that engineering is my thing. So Cardano focuses on security, sustainability, and interoperability. I won't go into these two in detail because it could just end up being very long. But what I want you to understand is that Cardano, when it comes to its security, for every protocol, it has peer-reviewed papers that it releases, that it publishes, and these peer-reviewed papers go through many reviews. They go through strenuous testing and to get approved. And long story short, they've even submitted some of these papers at competitions and won actual security conventions and stuff like that. Now, the importance of this, right, is to understand that this is a system that we're talking about being mass adopted. Okay, and we're talking about this cryptocurrency stuff. It's not to be taken lightly. Okay, it's not to be taken as, oh, it's just a token and it's just a system. No, it's very complex, and there's a lot of room for penetration and manipulation of these systems to actually happen. So you want the most secure system you can have, because you think about it, the idea is that governments will start accepting these systems and start buying into these systems. Even right now, Cardano actually has missions to create centralized banking systems on top of the decentralized Cardano blockchain for actual whole countries. So you have to understand that this needs to be very secure, and they put this as a top priority, and they do a great job at that. Okay, this can make their delivery process seem a bit slow, but they're doing things correctly. Okay, and it's going to pay off in the long run. It's also paying off right now. All right. Now, let's go to interoperability. Okay, at Cardano, they're understanding that not only one coin will win. We need to be able to actually transform between multiple different types of cryptocurrencies. Okay, right now, we have a decentralized system, okay, which is good because it can be governed by not a single party. But it's not truly decentralized because we have points which are completely centralized, which is like Coinbase, Voyager. All of these exchanges are actually perfect spots to centralize this decentralized system. I guess you could call it at the intersection node, which is going to be the exchange. All right. So what's the problem with this? All right. Legislation can be placed to actually control the exchanges. And this will simultaneously have a rollover into the decentralized system kind of being ruled. Okay. That the decentralized system can actually be controlled through the exchanges to a certain extent. This right here is an actual limitation, and it causes the decentralized nature, which is so valuable about these cryptocurrencies, to not be quite as decentralized as we would like, and as they're able to be. All right, so Cardano has a solution for this, and they're decentralizing that also and this is the interoperability part of the equation. So they believe that coins should be able to transform between each other, kind of seamlessly. Okay, so when you're working within a certain domain, you shouldn't be having to think, okay, I'm in Ethereum, so how do I go to ADA, and then what about Binance Coin? You shouldn't have to. There should be a more seamless protocol as to how we interface between each other, and they're obviously going to do this by defining interfaces in which you transform between coins. This is going to be a very, very important thing. Understand when you think about mass adoption and the idea that there are going to be multiple coins that exist. They've also got protocols that they've already been releasing and that are already been peer reviewed regarding the process of doing this. Okay, so there are different ways you can kind of look into. So imagine I'm on the Cardano blockchain, I'm in ADA, but I actually want to do a transaction and someone's coming into this system with Ethereum. Okay, I need to be able to look and make sure I'm not getting scammed. Okay, the blockchain, this ecosystem needs to understand and be able to approve the transactions that they're coming in with. So there needs to be a way to peek inside of the ecosystem and kind of get a summary of whether this is valid. The transaction and the course of action is actually valid. And they're coming up with protocols that actually define ways to do this in an efficient way, in a time friendly way that's still secure. So that's very important. Okay, so that's the interoperability part. There's way more to it than that. I'll just leave it at that. And sustainability. Okay, when you're thinking about this growing, being mass adopted, you have to think we're going to be having new innovations coming out every day, every year, every decade, right? Every century. And you want the ecosystem to be able to adapt to the new oncoming technologies and things to be flexible. Okay, if you actually look at a lot of things like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, or Ethereum and Ethereum Classic and stuff like that. The problem is these solutions aren't fully sustainable, because as different innovations come or different use cases come, you realize that you have to make some choices that can't be merged into the current ecosystem. All right, so sometimes this reaches a point where you have to fork. You have to literally fork the current ecosystem and say, you know what, we need an Ethereum 2.0, or we need a Ethereum Classic, or we need a Bitcoin, or we need a Bitcoin Cash or something like that. With this use case, we can use Bitcoin, but we have to do this with Bitcoin Cash, so let's fork it. This is not actually a sustainable solution as things get quite large. And when we're talking about mass adoption, Cardano solves this intrinsically to where it can actually be expanded and grow. It can grow with new technologies. Okay, and new technologies can kind of be incorporated into the technology. Okay, I'll just keep it like that to keep it simple. All right, so there are a lot of reasons why Cardano is an amazing technology. It's being built right by people that are very smart. I'm very, very proud of what they're able to achieve. It's quite fascinating, and this is why I plan to hold Cardano for a long time. I think it makes a great case to be able to actually beat Ethereum. I know people are going to say you're ridiculous, but if we were able to take the timeline of Ethereum and move it back and say, okay, well, they're starting at the same time, but Cardano is doing things the exact way it's doing it, and Ethereum is doing things the way that it does it. Cardano would just ruin. It wouldn't even be a comparison. The adoption rate of Cardano would be astronomically much larger than Ethereum. It just would be if you understand the underlying technology. Now, with that being said, I believe that Cardano makes a great case. I don't think it'll totally ruin Ethereum or anything like that. I believe Cardano is going to be a major player for a long time to come, and they're definitely not going to end up being, they're definitely going to have a solid place. Okay, so with that being said, I believe 5 times at the end of this bull run, my 30K should be roughly 150,000. And we'll go from there. I'll leave it at that. It's probably going to be it's going to be a great opportunity. It's a beautiful thing. It's great to live through this. So I wanted to just have that update to let you guys know what I think, let you guys see my investments. And yeah, we'll leave it right there, guys. If you like this content, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos, notification if you want to see those immediately. I promise to keep the heat coming, guys. Peace, guys.